My family bought a new fridge for emergency stock. I love retro. It's very cute. And the red color, so nice. That Coca-Cola container is the added touch, but it's pretty quiet compared to the other fridge at least, but it's here for now. It should probably be here next time, but I guess when we redecorate the house, it'll make more sense. Back with an important topic I wanted to discuss. Maybe I shouldn't put you here. I was gonna put you here, but that's too high up. Give me one moment. No, that's not gonna work. I can't seem to, there's no room here. My phone's too big. Where should I plop you? I guess here, fine. No other choice. I just feel like it's too low. Maybe if I move back. It's about a thunderstorm. Yet again, it's been brutally hot here. It's been raining pretty much every single day or night. And 100-degree feels like temps. Mix that with humidity and it's death. I just came back from a bike ride. Get some sunlight, vitamin D, which is so important during this time. And I made a rant video, but I had to delete it from my phone because I don't want to project that angry energy to you. And honestly, some of the things I said felt a little not my age, let's put it that way. So I was like, yeah, I'm not uploading this publicly. So I wanted to address this more in a different way. So someone recently said that they've been having problems, like they're an ASM artist and they've been having problems with other girls, because she's a girl, like, not trying to compete with her, but like judging her looks and her personality, calling her dumb and all this stuff. So she was talking about it in a video and I felt compelled to share because, you know, I don't think it's nice when, especially other people who are just in this community who are just doing things for, you know, helping people, relaxation, all that good stuff. And then they kind of get involved in the drama of looks, which is like really low in my honest opinion. It shouldn't matter how someone looks. And even judging that they don't get plastic surgery, I mean, it's really low and awful. And I'm sorry that some girls are doing that and catfighting with each other behind the scenes, but it's just really sad. There's enough going on in the world right now, and it's really tragic that people are commenting on someone's looks and appearance. It's just very low. So, so this girl was also saying that how, like, she's married, right, and lives in Canada, and people were judging the house she lives in because they did a house tour, and it was an older house, and it had a certain appeal to it, and people were saying, oh, are you guys poor? And she had to address, no, they just choose to live this lifestyle and save money. And she started going on and on. So I'm just basically going to repeat what she said and what I agree with, because I just felt compelled to share, because I agree with, they've been around, that couple has been around YouTube as long as I have. They've been around 11 years, I've been around 13. And they unfortunately haven't really survived the crashes of what has been going on this website. But thankfully, I have, even after all that time, I've been through bump and wave. And so it's very rare that someone can survive all that. So I'm really thankful and appreciative for all of you watching and following. And I've made plenty of mistakes, even with reputation, in terms of getting involved with things, social interactions with other people, and being misunderstood overall, and having to admit my mistakes. And so I can't believe this is still going on amongst other YouTubers, even discreetly, and like they're throwing shade at each other in videos, and it's just not nice. You know, and I used to be like that. I used to do that as well. I won't play like I haven't, but I just haven't anymore because I just don't feel the need to. It's kind of childish, and you should focus on yourself rather than focusing on what other people are doing. So I think everyone's going through a hard time now, especially now. So I don't think people need to be adding gas to the flame. So yeah, I also don't think people need to be judging others for the house they live in. You know, for example, I may live in a very nice home, but I've always mentioned my life has been pretty much alone. I am in debt, yes. I can say I have more assets and savings than debt, but still, I have some debts. And, you know, this house isn't paid off. So, like, you know, it's easy to have, let's say, a decent or a nice car and a house, but for it to be really yours is quite rare. And, you know, I feel like a lot of people are like that because it's kind of like the American lifestyle, you know, and what have you. But the alleged couple I'm speaking of, their house is paid off completely, you know. They are not poor, as people assume. So, you know, you cannot judge a book by its cover. And why should it matter what someone's finances, for their financial situation is like anyway? For 99% of people, it's uncomfortable to talk about to begin with. So why bring that up when that has nothing to do with ASMR to begin with? If someone has worked very hard for a decade to get what they have, then they deserve to do a house tour and show it. You know, not everyone chooses to, because it's kind of like, you know, you never know who's watching. Why should someone see your business? That's one of the reasons I choose not to. But, you know, it's their life. They work hard for it. And, you know, people were like, oh, you know, obviously they're not poor. Like, he has a bunch of action figures on his shelves and stuff, like thousands of dollars worth of them. So obviously he's not poor. He just chooses to, you know, it just went too far. And people were like, you know, commenting about judging them as a couple, and it has nothing to do with their art and what they do. And it just like, shout out to them, you know, like that. Oof, I would get so angry having those kind of comments. And I did feel a little bit frustrated, honestly, because I just recently did a collab, and you know, I still get comments to this day under the ASMR artist videos of the people I've collabed with, like, oh my god, I can't believe you collab with Tony, like as if I am some corrupt billionaire, calling me a creep, calling me this, calling me that. Anyway, it just, I guess, honestly bothered me because, you know, people still define others from their past mistakes and misunderstandings, because I'm not a creep. I date older men. I don't know where people got that impression of me, but anyways, it was just a total misunderstanding. And I don't know. I've always been honest and upfront with people, and, you know, people can say I'm drama, people can say I'm this and that, but there's nothing you can do, you know. You could have a bunch of web forums talk smack about you, but they don't know you. The online world is a small spectrum, and anyone I've ever had any alleged drama with, I've made peace with. You can even ask them and DM them yourself. You know, we don't talk, but I'm not online to make friends, you know, because you can't just easily trust people nowadays. And I guess with age and time, you'll understand that if you haven't already. But speaking more strictly with, I guess, trolls and stuff, because, you know, this couple has been through it with trolls, you know. One of them used to do reply videos when I was in that reply video era. And people define our past. And, you know, it's very sad that you are, let's say, for example, a very good content creator or ASMR artist, whatever, but people won't watch you because they judge and define your past. You know, and it's very sad and tragic and unfortunate, because people change, and I do believe people can change and heal and learn and grow. And people are so stuck on the same mindset of a person, and it's very tragic. It's the same with music artists, TV reporters, everything. Like, people judge on that one experience, that one mistake, that one time, and people love seeing the death and downfall of someone famous or influential. Fame is death, so like, people always have their upfall and then their downfall, and people fall for that and want to see that. They want to see the suffering and the train wreck, and it's entertaining, and it's very sad. And that's why I didn't want to be in that world and that lifestyle anymore a long time ago. And I'm glad I'm not. I'm thinking ahead and constantly working on other stuff and projects. And so, people can assume that someone's not doing well when they are, and they can assume someone's doing well when they're not. Nothing online is as it seems. And many people's lives are on a loan, on a temporary visa. You know what I mean? Not literally, but I'm trying, like, there's no other way to describe it. Like, everything is temporary. None of this is real. And what's real is your peace and your love and connection to everything, as we all are. And there are many, many misinterpretations of me and who I am as a person, because they only see the mistakes. You'll do 100 things right, and they will look at that one thing you did wrong and focus on that and kick you even while you're down. And it's really sad and really tragic. And that's why a lot of celebrities suffer, and they have horrible, horrible lives and nothing but darkness. And it's not a good path, to be well known at all. I'm not saying that it's like not totally the bee's knees, but I'm just saying that as long as you channel that attention for something good and try not to let that hatred consume you, then you'll be okay. But it's not for sensitive souls. It's not for every person. It's for some people, because I believe you karmically choose in this life to come and, be on this sort of mission, and you already decide, it's already like premeditated what's going to occur to you. So if you were meant to go through it and then go through the downfall of that, that was meant for a reason, because you have to realize it's not for you, if that makes sense. It's for some people, but not for others. So, there's a very, very small percent of people who are able to do the things they do and still have, savings put aside and, secure themselves. And a lot of times people who buy this and that and show it off, they don't really have that much, because like, when you have to show everything you get, it's sort of like I noticed this a lot with a lot of YouTubers. Like, they will show things off, and then it's like they sell it like months later or years down the line, or they don't have it anymore, because I don't know, like, if you feel the need to show everything you buy, it's kind of like, anyway, that's not important. But that's one of the things they addressed, and I just wanted to share it, because it's kind of what I went through before, with seeing other people and talking to many, many, many people who have been through it, who have millions of subscribers. Oh my gosh, like, just, yeah, they've been through it. So I didn't want anything to do with that anymore. And, a lot of people also say that I'm underrated. I deserve 1 million subscribers. And I don't want 1 million subscribers. If you choose to subscribe, sure. Do I want anything with the attention or the lifestyle that people with an insane amount of clicks receive? No. I've made that decision long ago, and that's why I don't have it, because I don't want it. And you'll never be given something you can't handle. You know, I don't want to stress myself and push myself over the edge. And that's why I've kind of intentionally and purposely pushed it away and sabotaged it, because I'm okay with where I am now. You know, I needed also time away from that insanity in my viewpoint, because it has brought me nothing but unrest, unhappiness, a disturbance of my peace since day one. And, you know, it's a huge part of my life, but I don't feel the need to constantly be the next thing or the next click. It's just not in my world anymore. And, you know, I almost empathize and feel for other people who are in that scenario, who are really not enjoying that. It's really sad. And, you know, I will do a prayer for them, because they don't know a lot. Or they may know, but I just wish you knew the experience I had and the things I have been through, and what I was told from others, and what I was told to do, and how I was told to behave, and how I was told to act, and how I was told what to wear, and being called dumb pretty much every week by my manager at the time, and the dark things that entailed there. So I don't want anyone to go through that and pressure themselves, especially at a young age. And there's a false facade of the online world. And it's nowadays, everyone is famous. Everyone is a click away. Everyone is a celebrity. Everyone is a star. Everyone who's on the internet, because you're creating your own persona. You have your own followers on Twitter. Even if there's 34 followers, there's 34 people who follow you. Back in the day, that was hard to even get 20 people to know who you are, your name, and to follow you and retweet your posts and like your posts. Now everyone's famous. It's nothing new. So we live in a world now where that's no longer desired or cherished. You know, everyone's talked about, and then 5 years later you're like, who? Because there's the next boy or girl on the scene. And people are always manufactured, and then they sort of go on their own way and their own path, and you never hear about them again. And that's just life. And some people you hear about their whole life, and then in 500 years, unless you were Cleopatra, who? You know. So I do believe you can channel your inner celebrity and make an influence in this world for the time. But it's not something to seek. You shouldn't be doing it for that, just to be known, or to try to compose a perfect image of yourself, because you will go absolutely brilliantly crazy if you try to control what everyone's saying about you, and it's just not real. That's not real. That's not reality. So, you know, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just feel such a sorrow and such a sympathy for a lot of people right now. And I hope they're doing okay. And honestly, a sorrow and a sympathy for myself as well, because to have been through what I have been through and just discussed with you, and it was painful. It was a very, very hard time. I couldn't even sleep. God, I mean, you know, I wish I'd known what I know now, basically. So, gosh, especially if you're young, like, I just, like, feel very, very sad. Very, very sad. Like, if that was my kid, I would be like, no, please, like, I don't know, it sounds weird, but, like, stay in school, or, you know, you can't force your kids to do what you want, but I guess everyone has to carve their own path, right? I'm just kind of a protective person, and I try to warn people about what's out there and what's really going on, and to stay away from bad influences like that, because you'll literally just lose your mind. I mean, that's that simple. Just focus on yourself, and I think that's where you're going to find the most inner peace in this life, because right now what's going on should be more important than that. Who's buying what house and what car, you know? What's important is feeding our children, and by our I mean like society. I don't have children. My dog and my bird are my children. They're both asleep next to me. And everyone's in outrage right now, and it's understandable. But I do believe, I think people have had enough, and that's our world right now. So things are opening up and being exposed, and that's what had to happen to me, because I wasn't being authentic and honest with myself a few years ago, and people exposed that in me, and I'm like, oh snap. And I think no matter what we've been through, it's okay to expose that, because that's what makes us who we are here. It's better than being inauthentic with yourself. So I'm thankful for every comment, love or hate, you know. That's who I am, that's who I stand for, and that's honest. So, you know, I used to think people would forget things like this, but they really don't. People hold on and they remember. You'd be amazed. Like, people don't forget stuff like this. And that's that, you know. I guess we just have to pick up whatever pieces we have left and move on, right? So I hope this addressed everything in the most genuine way I could. And I can't expect people to think any differently of me. This is not a video to do that, to change people's mind about my past, but I do not feel that way anymore. My past is my past for a reason. It's my past. It's not who I am today. And I guess it's just a minor rant about how people hold on to that past and bring it today, when we should be focusing on other things right now that are way more important, way more relevant than what I've even mentioned about the online world. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you universe darlings are well. And I got this message across without being angry. Because it's not good to hold on to that. It's just not healthy. You know, we got to be here for each other and support each other. That's what it's about. I really hope you're all doing okay during this time. I really do, because I'm, again, so disgusted with some of the decisions that are being made and what's going on. So I really hope you are all able to put food on the table, take care of your kids, take care of yourself, put money aside, you know. It's a bumpy, rough ride, but we're gonna make it somehow, some way, somewhere. We're gonna work hard as a unity, and we're gonna make it, okay?